Yo guys, JG here, back with another episode. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a login scene or login menu for your game. So how do we do that? So we're going to start by making a UI element. So go over the UI panel and go into the game view. That looks pretty good. So we're going to make it dark, a little darker, and a little more transparent. Actually, a little less transparent. Okay, now we're just going to rename this panel to background. Okay. And now we're going to make another UI, and this is going to be a text element. So we can actually have 3 text elements, so duplicate that a couple times. First one's going to be called a game name. Second one is going to be a login. The third one is going to be register. Okay, we're just going to change the text for that. So game name. And size is going to be 70. Center it and make it a bit brighter. So it's going to be about that color. So I'm just going to copy this color so I can use it for the other ones. So login, let's say this login, and this is going to be size 40. Center that, go into here and paste this color in. Make it bit lower, and now I'm gonna just copy this color. So copy that, and this register. Okay, size 40. Center it just like the other ones, and I'm actually gonna paste this color in now. So paste that in, and now we can just move it around in the scene. So the game name, I'm just gonna drag up here and drag it down a bit. Center it up. Now for these ones, register, so the register is going to go on the right. Okay. And the login. Okay. Now, so the position is 240, negative 240. So for this, it's going to be plus 240. Okay. Okay, so with the register, we're going to have 4 input fields. So an input field is a field that allows you to type in information, and then you can get that information into the code. So we're going to have 4 input fields on the register and a button. And then the login is going to have 2 input fields and a button. So we're just going to start with login, so it's simpler. So we're just going to copy, actually no, UI, input field, and just duplicate that. And then I'm going to make a UI button while we're at it. Okay, so for the input fields, we're actually going to change the size. So the width is going to be 170, and the height is going to be 40. Okay, just drag it down a little bit. And then this one's going to be exactly the same. So 170 to 40. Okay, drag that a bit lower. And the button is going to be below. So we're just going to actually make that a bit smaller. It's going to be 150 by 30. That's good. Actually 40. Okay. So now we're going to change the actual name. So input field, this is going to be username. And the input field 1 is going to be password. And the button is just going to be login button. Okay, so username, we're going to change the color, actually no, not change the color. So for this, for the username, we're going to leave it fine. So the password, actually going to go down into the input field, change the content type to password, and we're going to change the character limit to 17. So the password content type allows it to be, whenever you type anything in, it will show up as asterisks and not what you're typing. So that's something a little more security, a little more like feel of a password, actual password field. So inside the username, we're going to go to the placeholder, change this text to username. And the size is actually going to be 18. 18, yeah, that's right. So 18, center that. And now for the text, we're going to change this size to 18 so that it shows up as the same size. Center it, just like the other ones. Now for the password, we're basically going to do the same exact thing. So password. Okay. And size 18. Center it. And now for text. So the text, same thing. 18 and centered. Okay. So now let's see what that looks like. Looks pretty good, but I want to change the color for the button because I don't want it to be all just white, everything white. Okay, so just go to the button, go to normal color. For the login, I'm just going to have like a greenish blue almost. Well, that's close enough. That's good. I like that. So now for the highlighted color, we're just going to copy this one, and then we're going to make it darker. So there we go. Now for this one, we're going to copy that and make it darker. Okay, now we're just going to change the text but a bit. So login. And the size, we're going to make it 25. It's already centered. Everything's all set. So now we're going to play it and see how it looks when we press it. So hover over it. It changes color and press it. Looks like we're pressing it. Okay. So we can actually click in these right now and type stuff in. Now for the password, see, it all shows up as asterisk. And that's as far as we can go. 17. That's good. Okay. So basically, we're going to do the same exact thing for over the register. We're just going to have 2 extra fields. So we're actually going to just copy this all over. So copy username, password, and the button. So copy that. Go into register, paste. Oh, well. There we go. And now change the button is down below, username up top, and password right there. Okay. So for the login button, we're going to change the colors up a bit, so maybe a bit brighter. Maybe something like that. Okay. So now we're just going to basically do the same exact thing. Okay, copy this, copy that, and drag it down. Okay. So now we're just going to actually just drag these over. So go into the scene, copy them, and no, actually, no. Just take this number and make it bigger. So I'm actually going to make that about there. We're going to move the login. This is going to be centered. So right to here. And how far down was it? Login was 184. So 184. Perfect. Okay, so these, I'm actually going to make them a bit closer. Good. Okay, so I actually did change up the size. So 65, 65.5. I'm just going to change this to negative 65. And for this, I'm going to make negative 90. 95. Negative 95. And 116. Negative 116. There we go. So now we can just duplicate these over. So just duplicate. Okay, drag them up a bit. Username, password, that's perfect position. So now we're just going to drag them over to about the same depth. So this, it would be, so this is negative 95. I'm going to say 95. And this is 95. Now they're both perfect. Position, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to change the actual names. So username, email. And the password is going to be, actually going to change the position. So username, email, then password, password confirmation, or confirm password. So confirm conf password. There you go. And then login button, this is actually going to be register button. Okay. And now we just need to change the text. So email. Go to email, go inside, placeholder, email. Everything else, we don't actually have to change any other things, just like we had to do with this. So it's perfectly fine, because it's already changed. So now we just need to go to confirm password, and placeholder is going to say confirm password. So confirm password. Oh, nope. There we go. Perfect. So now what we need to do is we need to go into the register button and change that. Okay, so now actually we're ready to code. So let's just take one more look at it. Looks actually pretty good. I like it. I think the login and register names can go a little brighter. So I'm just gonna like change that really quick. So go to login, shift over to the register, and you go down to where it's, oh. Can I not do that? Oh, I can't change the color. Oh, I can change the color. Okay. Okay, that's good. I was worried there for a second, but it's fine. Okay, so now we're just going to go into login, add a component, and this is going to say login. Okay, and same for register. Add a component, register. Okay, now we can just drag these over into scripts. Oh, I opened it. Well, it's fine. I have to close it now. And login and register. Okay, so make that a bit bigger. Okay, first off, so we're going to start by adding some public variables. So just go over here. Start by public game object username. Actually, it can't be capital, so username. Okay. Then public game object email. Then it's going to be public game object password public game object and conf password. Okay, now we're gonna add 4 more, and these are just gonna be strings. So private. These are gonna be private now. So private string username, and these are gonna be capital. That's why I didn't make the first one's capital. So private string email. Oh, yep. Private. Nope. Serialized private string password and private string conf password. Okay, so we got all these 4. We actually now have to add a couple more variables that we need just to add for just booleans and just random things. So private, this is going to be another string, and this is going to be form is the name. So this form right here is going to hold all these variables right here. Okay. So now we need to make another one, and this is going to be a private. This is going to be a boolean, so bool, and email valid. Okay. Now, actually, we need to add a couple of using statements. So we're going to be using system, just system, and then we're going to be using system dot text dot regular expressions, and last but not least, actually, I'm going to just go over here. So using Unity engine dot UI. Okay. Just delete that. Maybe, yeah, a little space. Okay. So that's all we need right now. We actually need to set this real quick. So equals false. Okay. So we're going to start by going into the update function, and we're going to make these strings right here equal the text that these are giving out. So username is going to equal username dot get component, and it's going to be the input field, and it's going to be text. So just so that we don't have to type input field, get component, input field, text, all that stuff out every time. We just have to reference the username. So just say the username, capital, equals username dot get component input field put field. Come on, my fingers aren't working today, so sorry about that. Okay, dot text. Okay, now we're going to do that for all of them. So I'm just going to copy this right here, copy that, and just going to say email equals email dot paste. I don't even have to add the dot. Okay, and now we're going to say password equals password and paste. Then for the confirm password, so conf password equals conf password paste. Okay, so we got all of these. So now we're actually gonna add a couple of functions. Actually, first off, yeah, we're gonna add a couple of functions. So this is gonna allow us to, what I'm gonna add shortly is gonna allow us to tab through. So now if we play, if we click tab and we're in this menu, usually like in regular forms, it would go to the next one. It would go from username to password. But because we have to add that, so if I keep clicking tab, you can hear I'm clicking tab and it's not going over. So I'm just gonna add that, just a little extra functionality to it. So go to the here into the update function. I'm actually gonna do it before everything else. Okay. So I'm gonna say the if input dot get key down, then key code dot tab. Okay, so if tab is pressed is basically what that's saying. If the tab is pressed, we're gonna say if, so username dot input field actually dot get component input field if the input field is focused, which basically means is focused is if you are currently editing that field. if your cursor has pressed on that field. If that's the case, then I'm gonna say, oh well, I'm gonna say that so username. So we're in the register right now. So what are we going to go to next? So if it's username, then we're going to go email. If it's email, then we're going to go to password. If it's password, we're going to go to confirm password, and then from confirm password, we don't need to go anywhere else. So we're just going to do that. So username is going to go email dot get component, and it's going to be input field, and dot select. So select is basically, so this is a function that allows you to it basically clicks on the next one. It basically is the same thing as clicking on it. So if I'm in username and I click tab, here I'm gonna actually play it right now. I'm gonna save this right now. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna show you. So before it was like this. So tab, and it doesn't go over. So now if I click tab, okay. So I know why. You see down below, here I'm gonna actually click tab again. So tab. If you see it down below, unassigned reference variable. So we actually need to assign them first. Totally forgot to do that. So go down, username is username, email, same thing, password, and confirm password. Okay, now it should work. Now we should be totally fine. So if I click in here and I click tab, it goes to email. Perfect. Again, good. Okay, so basically I'm going to do that same thing for all of them. So just copy this right here, control copy, and paste. Actually, that's all we need. Perfect. So if it's in username, then we're going to say if it's in email, take the cap locks off. So if it's email, we're going to go to password. And if it's in password, then we're going to go to confirm password. Okay. So now let's test that out. So save that. Go back into the Unity and click on it. So tab. Perfect. So now we want to add the functionality. If all of these fields are full, if they are not empty, we're going to say if we click enter, it'll click this register button. So instead of actually having it click the button, we're actually going to add a function. So say void, actually public void, because it needs to be able to be seen by the button. So public void, and this is going to be say register. Come on, register. Okay, perfect. So I don't know why that does that. There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna say register. Actually, we can't have that. We can't have it as the register because it's already taken by the class. So this is gonna be register button on. Okay, that's okay. Okay, good. So now we're gonna say if input dot get key down, and what key, it's gonna just say return. Actually no, key code dot return. There we go. So if we click the enter key, it says it says return because it is a return key. It's a enter key, return key, same thing. So if we click the enter key or return key, then we're gonna have it say check all of these variables, all the strings. So if password capitals, password is not equal to nothing. This basically is same thing as null, but you can't use null in this case because it is something. It isn't null because it has even though it's nothing, it isn't null. So we can't use null in that case. So we're just gonna say is double quotes, and then we need to add that back up. So then shift. So this is basically saying, actually no, that's or. We basically need and. So so checking if all of them are not empty. So password email equals and the password is not equal to nothing, and the conform password is not equal to nothing. Okay, so if that's all the case, then we're just gonna say a register button. Okay, it's as simple as that. So now if we happen to do that, so I'm gonna say just a test, so print, this is gonna be printing registration successful. Actually, registration that's the same thing. Okay, maybe it's right, I don't know. Okay, so registration successful. Okay, so now we're just gonna go back into the login. Okay, we got all these errors. Unexpected. Where is that? Okay guys, back. So I found out what the problem was. The problem was I actually forgot to add a semicolon right here. So some little things like that could add total destruction to all your code. So just make sure you add the semicolon. Okay, so now that that's the case, I don't know why that just did that. Okay, now if we click enter now, see it doesn't say registration complete because we didn't add anything. So if we do blah blah and blah blah and blah blah, registration, actually no, enter, registration successful.